Hey guys, welcome back. This is the 8-9 Garage that you're tuning into today, and what we've got is a 2015 EcoBoost F-150 3.5 flavor. Today, we're going to be fixing the most common oil leak that you will find on one of these. That is the vacuum pump that is mounted on the passenger side head, all the way to the back against the firewall. The vacuum part still works, however, it leaks oil all the way down the back of the motor. And when I was under there, I don't remember what I was doing. It was probably when I changed the transmission fluid. I'll put a link to that up here. It was probably then that I noticed that that pump was leaking down the back of the head and then ultimately coming down the transmission. So far it doesn't appear like it's hitting the ground, but we want to get that stopped before it gets to be a big problem. This is not a really hard job, it's just a really crappy location. That's what makes this a rather difficult job to do, is just the location. It's really only 3 bolts, a little cleanup, a little silicone, then you got one vacuum line to pull off. This is the pump we're using. It is a Motorcraft BRPV 23. This is it right here, obviously. This here is our vacuum port that we're gonna be hooking to. I'm going to leave that on until we're done. This is actually what drives the vacuum right here. This is actually driven off the back of the camshaft. There's a cam across the top of the head, and this fits in a little, I don't know, boss, recess, whatever you want to call it. And that's how this thing, interesting. And that's how this thing mounts. That's a little. We're gonna have to have a look at that when we get it out. I don't know that that's supposed to be bent like that, is it? See that? I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're gonna be paying attention to this here somewhat when we pull the old one out, so we can get this somewhat lined up. This actually sits kind of like this, where this is on top. We do have some locating pins here that help us line this thing up when we're putting it back in. We're going to use a dab of silicone on 2 sides because approximately, I think it's about right where this, I don't know if you can see that indentation. I think it's going to be right basically at the top of both of those that we need a dab of silicone, and that will seal it against the back side of that cylinder head. But I'm going to put this back in the bag, put this off the side, and get going. Alright, so first we need to remove this cap so we can remove the engine cover. Just do that by pulling up. Put this back on so nothing falls in there. I actually recently put, this is a brand new valve cover that I put on it for him, and then just replaced the gasket on this side. The reason we replaced this is the nut, the recessed nut that's in there, got stripped out and it would just spin. Plus somebody had previously glued it all down. What I mean by that is they siliconed the old valve cover. We are right here. That is the pump right back there. I'm just going to be moving some of these wires and things around. This is a little bit warm. I brought it home about a half hour, 45 minutes ago. All right, so we want to push in on this and pull out. So we're pushing in right here on this, and that kind of releases those. Can you see that? We're pushing right here, and that, when it's in there, it releases these tabs, pushes them outward, and gives us the ability to pull that off of this this little lip right here is what holds that on. All right, now to get this out, we need a 5/16 socket or 8mm. Either one will do the job. And hardest part for me is going to be climbing up on this thing, because I'm going to literally have to be laying across the motor. All right, baby, we're back there. It's going to be really, really difficult for you guys to see what I'm doing. Ooh, she's still warm. Ugh. Okay, and this is what our bolts look like. Need to remove two more. Just got to kind of feel around for them. Oh my goodness. Once you get them going, they seem to come out somewhat easy. Second one's out. I think the last one's going to be up higher over here. Yep. Oh, you can see the head of that in the camera. Ooh, that's hot. It's only been sitting for a little bit. Ooh, it's starting to burn my hand. Okay. We should be able to break this away from the back of the head now. And again, we need to kind of watch the orientation of that. I'm going to get a glove because this is hot. Screw it. I'm going to roll with it. I'll just hold on to the plastic. What's going on? Oh, we got a harness in the road there. All right, there we are. We're broke free. Looks like we're kind of straight up and down with that thing. If you saw it come out, I'll do my best to leave it right where it's at. And this thing's warm. Yeah, I think that's bent. At this point right here, I must have turned the camera off somehow, but I discover that that little brass piece is in fact bent. If you recall, when I opened up the box, I said that doesn't look right. This Motorcraft unit was ordered off Amazon, so later on, when I was looking at the box, you could tell that it had been damaged. I no longer have the box in my possession, but I do have a small clip saying, look at the damage right there. But I think that it was damaged in shipping. That brass, probably really easy to bend if it gets hit. I don't really want to put the original one back in there because at this point in time, I've discovered that it does not have the right gasket in it. I mentioned that I think that it has an O-ring in it, and that didn't make it on the camera. So when I refer to that in a second, just know that I thought I was recording earlier. But let's move on with the video. I did go to O'Reilly and I got a standard pump. That was the brand.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
All right. There's one from O'Reilly. Yeah, see this? This is that's not supposed to be bent like this one is. Before you get in there, make sure this is all seated down real nice. In fact, there's a little oil back there. I'm gonna squirt that up a little bit with some. You gotta be really sure that this is seated in here, because it's got these little tabs that help hold it in. I have seen some people that say, oh, just stick an O-ring in this, but I don't think that's gonna work. I really truly think that somebody just stuck an O-ring in this. I'm gonna show you what I mean here. As I was just saying, don't try and use an O-ring, because that looks like what somebody has done right here. We'll be able to tell when we pull this out. Yeah, that is an O-ring. That is not the gasket that goes in here. This gasket is actually flat right there. It's not a circle. So your sealing power is right here too. And also it looks like when somebody put this back in, they didn't put silicone on this side. So did you, I hope that it showed, I hope I showed this, but this was squishing out right here instead of being locked in like this locks in. So I think that it was probably leaking from here, and then the fact that I'm pretty sure that this wasn't resealed right there. Let's start reassembling this. I'm gonna put some silicone or RTV, black RTV. We're gonna stick that there and right there, because this is, like I was saying, where it meets against the head. And your valve cover actually goes across right there. All right, I'm going in there with a rag and brake clean. Okay, got a fairly decent amount of oil on that we just cleaned off. You can see where they meet right there. See, like nobody put any silicone on those when they put this thing back in there. I'm telling you, this is my new favorite, this Optimum Max Flex. Another thing, this has been open, I don't know, 3 or 4 months probably. And I'm going to tell you, if you put plastic on top of that thing, check this out. Comes right out. Just like you just opened it. Okay. Put a couple dabs on there. And we're going to stick this thing right back with the plastic on it. And when I go to use it again, it'll be fresh. You don't got to over tighten the cap and break it. Don't ask me how I know about that. We are ready to go back in. I'm just putting the 3 bolts in to help me guide this thing in. So it's rather hard to feel that with my fingers. Hey, where is this other guy? Right there. I'm gonna get the camera down there. We're gonna have a look as soon as I get this one in. We're just gonna make sure that I'm feeling this correctly. Let's I'm gonna need some light. So yeah, we're right there. We just gotta get this tight now, I think. Well, I think it's in. Okay. All 3 bolts are in and snug. Now I'm just gonna get, I hope this little fella will go to 8. Where is it? Let's go to 8 foot-pounds. Or no, 7. Okay, well this works out great because it's supposed to go to 80. Well, I'm supposed to go to 89 inch-pounds, and we're gonna go all the way past 80, just a smidge. It's supposed to go to 89 inch-pounds, and then let's see, 45 degrees after that. So let's see where we're at. So showing you the torque wrench was absolutely no good because the indicator was facing the firewall. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and just push that straight on. You'll hear it click just like we just did. All right, she started. Should have filmed it, but I didn't. Let's just look around here. Okay, I think we're good to put the engine cover back on and take her for a spin. All right, we're on the test drive and everything seems just fine, hunky-dory. So we're gonna call this a win. Stops really nice, and yeah. All right, I'm gonna wrap this one up. If you learned anything from this video, don't use O-rings. They're no bueno. Peace.